Let's start by closing this and just creating a new empty frame set. To do so, you'll choose File, New, and in the New Document dialog, you want to choose Page from Sample, and then choose Frame Set. This is the easiest way to create a frame set, and you'll find a wide variety of designs to choose from. For now, let's choose Fixed Right Nested Bottom. And as you create this, Dreamweaver is now asking you to name each of the frames. And because it uses fairly logical naming structure, I'm just going to let Dreamweaver do that for me. Now I want you to open the Frames panel, which you'll find under Window, and you'll get a nice little preview of what's happening behind the scenes. So let me open this up a little bit so we can see better. We have a frame here on the right, and once you've created frames, you can simply click and drag to adjust the spacing. So you see Dreamweaver called this right frame. It called the center frame main frame. And it called the bottom frame, look at that, bottom frame. See what I mean about logical naming structure? I think Dreamweaver's pretty intuitive on this one. So what you see here and what you're creating is really 4 documents at once. This here on the right is its own HTML page. This is my right page. And I can type into it, I can add content into it, so I could bring one of these thumbnails into here just by clicking and dragging. Now, of course, Dreamweaver is complaining because I haven't saved this yet. But I can still go ahead and put some alt text in. And in the main frame, I can also type text. And here I might add one of the bigger pictures that I have. So let's add the corresponding big blue hat picture. Again, it hasn't been saved yet, so Dreamweaver is using a temporary path. As soon as I save this page, Dreamweaver will correct that address, and that image will be properly linked there. The bottom frame is also a separate document. So each of these sections of the frame set represent a different HTML file. And there is a 4th HTML file here that you can't even see that's behind the scenes. That file is called the frame set file. So if you can think of each of these as a separate frame made up of an HTML document, and the 4th file is the frame set, which is another HTML document that simply describes the placement and the size of each of these frames. So there is one document that creates this design and 3 more that are displayed within it. And watch what happens when I go to save. If you've created a frame set, you don't have the regular old frames option. You can save frame, which would save just the active frame, the one you've currently selected, or you can save all. And let me show you what happens when I choose to save all. If I move this a little bit, you'll see that there's kind of a checkered line all the way around this. This one goes all the way around the entire window. That's because this first document that Dreamweaver wants to save is the frame set itself, the one that represents all of these files. So the entire page is highlighted. I'm going to create a new folder as I save these, just to keep them separate from the other files in this site. So let's just call this Frame Test. And now as we save these, let's name them. I'm going to call this one Frame Set, because this is the frame set that controls the display of the other 3 frames. Now you see Dreamweaver is prompting me to save the next file, and it's highlighted only the one on the right here. So let's call this Right Frame. Save. And there you go, frame set file number 3. So that's my bottom frame. Seems like a good name for it. And if I were correct that there are really 4 files here, then I would get prompted to save the 4th one now. And you see Dreamweaver is highlighting that left or main frame area. So let's call that one Main Frame. And save. This isn't a very pretty design. We're going to create a much prettier design in a moment. But I wanted you to see what happens here when you create a new frame set and you create new documents in each frame. You're actually saving 4 files, the frame set, as well as each of the pages within that frame. So let's go ahead and close out of that.